everybody. Happy New Year. I love getting comments on my videos. Lately, I got a couple of interesting comments on my videos. I would like to respond to one of these comments today. And this comment was by Anna Biasetto. And from her comment, I got the question, are people on the autism spectrum usually people pleasers or often people pleasers? So are people on the autism spectrum often people pleasers? Well, I certainly think there's a link between being on the autism spectrum and the phenomenon of being a people pleaser. In fact, it makes total sense that a person on the autism spectrum is also a people pleaser. More on that later on. Let's first investigate what a people pleaser is. What is a people pleaser anyways? A people pleaser is somebody who is beyond nice to other people. These folks are really doing their best to not offend other people, and they can go really far in that respect. They will, for example, edit their text messages extensively before sending them. Or they are really thinking hard while they are talking to other people so that they won't say something wrong, so that they won't offend somebody while they're having a conversation with that person. But is that necessarily a bad thing? I think it's bad if it negatively starts to affect you. If you can't get your message across, for example, or if people start to bully you because you're such a nice person, and if you just have a sense of not being free to express yourself. People pleasing is usually an excess of being nice. And there's nothing wrong with being nice, but you're heading towards people pleasing territory when you're trying to satisfy others at the expense of your own wants and needs. Why do I think there is a firm link between autism and people pleasing? I think there's a link because when you're on the autism spectrum, you're often made to feel wrong in a lot of respects. You'll get more criticism than other people. For example, you may be accused of talking the wrong way or expressing yourself in the wrong way. This goes especially to girls and women because the female gender role and female socialization demand certain behaviors of you. Like being bubbly and being extroverted and talkative. And by not talking about your talents and your accomplishments, because it may make somebody else feel insecure about themselves. I can imagine that a lot of girls and women on the autism spectrum don't know this, that they are not supposed to talk about those things. And in response to that, they will get a lot of harsh criticisms. For both genders, it's a problem that you'll be socially punished by not syncing or synchronizing with the group. Not being in sync with the group is actually one of the key characteristics of being on the autism spectrum. And I would love to make a video about that soon, because I think it's so important for people on the autism spectrum and their acquaintances to understand this. Because you're not being able to sync with the group, as many other people do, you will get criticized more often. And because of that constant criticism, a low self-esteem may develop. And a lot of feelings of guilt as well. Because of their past experiences, they feel like they have to overcompensate because of the negative experiences, because the many painful memories, they feel like they have to overcompensate being nice, being kind. And that is exactly what people pleasing is. I think the first step to stop being a people pleaser is to literally take your time and reflect on yourself. In the video Autism and Boundaries, I talked about the fact that a lot of people on the autism spectrum have alexithymia, which means an inability to recognize, acknowledge, and act upon your own emotions. The good news is that you can improve alexithymia a bit. If you have interacted with somebody and afterwards you feel abused because you were overly nice and they took advantage of that, or didn't take you seriously because of that, try to go over that interaction one more time. Look at it from an outside perspective. Try to look at it from an outside perspective. What happened to you? What did he or she say? Is that okay? If that was being said to my parents or my friends or anybody really. If it's not okay, you'll be prepared the next time you will have to talk to that person. The next time you talk to that person, you can stop them if they are saying things that you do not like. You can, for example, say, "I don't like what you said there," or "It's not true what you're saying," or "It makes me feel uncomfortable that you're saying that," or "I don't want to do that." Conversations often go so fast that it's hard to keep track of everything that's being said. But you don't have to rush your replies. So you can listen to what's being said, take a few moments to think about what they said, and then respond to it. If you take more time, it becomes easier to recognize that somebody isn't being nice to you. And this takes practice, but you'll get better at it. I now can respond almost immediately to things that are wrong or disrespectful towards me. It's still not easy, but I'm getting better. And so can you. It can be scary to say what's on your mind, especially when you're talking to a person who is the opposite of a friend of yours. But in a broader sense, I think that society has to get used to the fact that there are people like us. And if we speak out on a smaller scale, like in a one-on-one conversation, or in smaller groups, the chances are bigger that people will start to understand us. And if we stay true to ourselves, and we are not afraid to show who we are, they might start to accommodate us, just like we are already accommodating them. But nobody will notice that because it's the norm, because a lot of people on the autism spectrum try to act neurotypical or wear a neurotypical mask. Another video of mine is about this neurotypical mask or masking. Being on the autism spectrum isn't easy. It's not an easy life. So when the world isn't being nice to you, you be nice to you. What I mean by that is do things that you love. Like when you're feeling down, go watch that favorite movie of yours. Go practice that favorite sport of yours. Go lie on the couch or in your bed comfortably and read that awesome new book. Play that awesome new video game. Indulge in your special interests. But if your special interests are alcohol and drugs, I would not recommend to indulge in any of those at all. So, yeah, be nice to yourself. Don't overcome your insecurities by being or becoming a people pleaser. Overcome your insecurities by being kind to yourself. I hope this video was helpful. Please like if it helped you in any way, or if you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to learn more about all kinds of autism related subjects. Bye!